The member for Hasluck.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak on the condolence motion for the death of Sir Zelman Cowen. Sir Zelman was Australia's 19th Governor-General. He died after suffering an illness at his Turok home. His wife Anna was by his side and he is survived by his wife and 4 children, Simon, Joseph, Kate and Ben, 16 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. He was 92. Much has been said by my parliamentary colleagues and I endorse the sentiments that they have expressed within the Chamber and the Federation Chamber. I vividly recall the appointment of Sir Zelman Cowen as the Governor-General following Sir John Kerr's 1975 dismissal of the Whitlam government. In the events that unfolded, I was working as a primary school teacher, and on that day I came back from yard duty and the message was very clear that the Whitlam government had been dismissed, setting into event a sequence of reactions, emotions and bitterness. And it divided a community and it divided a nation as the points of debate occurred at dinner tables, at events and at functions that people were in attendance. But the other part of this that was important was that I was teaching at the time, and the Year 7s I was teaching wanted to know about those events and the subsequent appointment of Sir Zelman Cowen. It was my introduction to him as an individual and the contribution that he had made prior to his appointment. I certainly witnessed the raw anger expressed by many and the bitterness from the events of November 1975 on the 11th, which unfolded on that day and afterwards. I attended political rallies in Forest Place, Perth, to hear the various members of Parliament and was concerned at the level of anger and bitterness about the dismissal of the Whitlam government. As a young man, I honestly wondered how we would as a nation move from a period that was unparalleled in Australian history. Michael Gordon and Michelle Grattan, in an article which they wrote for the Sydney Morning Herald, had restored Australia's faith. Sir Zelman Cowen dies at 92, December 9th, 2001, wrote, "One of Australia's most distinguished constitutional lawyers and academics. Sir Zelman was appointed to the vice-regal post by Malcolm Fraser in 1977. Critics said the role had been politicised by the controversial sacking, but he won the respect from both sides. I recall the commentary in the media at the time, and from conversations there prevailed a strong view that the office of the Governor-General had been compromised, and our faith as a nation in the impartiality of that office would never be the same. Political wounds leave incredible scars of pain because of our passion as individuals for the philosophy that we hold dear to us and the party that we support. And the challenge was to heal those wounds and restore the faith of impartiality of the Governor-General. The appointment of Sir Zelman Cowen certainly raised interest. What I found about Sir Zelman was he was attentive and cared deeply about the pain that was created, and he was highly compassionate and empathetic to the needs of others, seeking to bring peace and integrity to Australian society at large. He wanted to heal and correct the conflicts that divided political and social groups. He was committed to things that were positive and made extraordinary sacrifices in attempts to achieve the ideals that were important to all Australians and related to all of those who he met and influenced. I heard Sir Zelman Cowen speak on one occasion and was taken by the content of his message, but more importantly, the gentle way in which he delivered that message and the way that he projected. And I was made to feel that I was part of an audience he was talking to individually. Mark Liebler, a Jewish community leader, said in a recent interview with the Sydney Morning Herald that Sir Zelman was one of Australia's greatest Jews and a man whose advice and guidance was sought frequently. I think that advice and counsel was sought by many other than the Jewish community who valued a man of principle and integrity. We owe Sir Zelman a debt of gratitude for healing our nation and for the work he did in serving this country. And I want to conclude with the words of Josh Frydenberg, the member for Kooyong, who paid tribute to a humane and decent man. He was interested in your own personal development. He was always a source of sound advice, and he took great pride in mentoring many people, he said. He was much loved and respected by people from all walks of lives and will be remembered as one of the greatest Australians who ever lived. And I think there are times that we are fortunate to meet people whose capacity to bring together those who have been scarred or hurt in the pain of an event, and then to reflect within their thinking and psyche a peaceful approach that restores that which had existed prior to the dismissal. And for a man of that integrity, or any leader who has that quality, is someone who is to be admired greatly. So my condolences to Anna and Sir Zelman Cowen's family. Thank you, Deputy Chair.